And boom, there we go. All right, so just want to make sure the audio is coming through loud and clear here. Got my audio turned up. Let me see, I'm at about, well, it was about half. Let me go all the way up there. There we are. Okay, so I hope your extended weekend was relaxing and recharging. And the first thing that I want to show you here today, folks, is something that I have talked about, and you've probably heard it from more than just me, just marketing courses and marketing books in general tend to talk about this, and that's content. Okay, you've probably heard the saying, content is king. And really, all that means when they say content is king is that people, when it comes to lead generation, the folks that do best, the folks that do best are those who use good, solid quality content as bait, right? So we can't argue with that. We know it's true. And one of those pieces of bait tends to be visual based content. And I've talked about this time and time again over the past couple of years, just how powerful it really can be when you allow content to go viral because you share something that is intrinsically shareable. So I'm just going to show you an example of something that we've created, visual content. I'm a big fan of infographics. So let me show you something here that we created recently for a client, and then I'm going to show you how you can use this too. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about refi and capturing refi business, right? So when a client came to us and said, hey, we want to capture more refi business off of Facebook, one of the things that we did was we took some really extreme statistics, just what can be some shocking but very relevant statistics, and we turned those statistics into a shareable graphic, in this case, an infographic. So this one here is consumer debt in America. How bad is it, and how do you compare? So what we have here is we've arranged the information, the data, the statistics into something that is nice and categorized and in bite-sized chunks, so it's very consumable. That I see these bigger numbers here will jump out at me and they make me want to read that particular statistic. So as we can see here, the average consumer in America has 3.7 credit cards. The average credit card debt is over $16,000 for those who have balances on their credit cards. The average interest rate in America is between 17% and 20.9% if it's a bank supplied credit card. The average spent yearly just on interest, this is just interest, guys, is over $8,000. So do you think that might be an eye opener to the average consumer out there when they realize just how much money they're flushing down the drain? What could they do with an extra $8,000 a year? How much the average household owes in debt currently? So if we bypass just credit cards and just look at debt in general, over $132,000. And then the average consumer will spend in his or her lifetime $279,000 plus dollars just on interest. So over $250,000 just flushed down the toilet just on interest alone. And we have enough consumer debt, specifically credit card debt in America, to spread it out to every person in America. $10,470 worth of credit card debt for every person in America. Now, these statistics come directly from the U.S. Census Bureau, as well as a survey of consumer finances by the U.S. Federal Reserve. So that's about as official statistics as it gets. So I'm sharing this with you because now the question falls into your lap because I'm about to create a whole bank of infographics similar to this. I'm going to let you guys pick out the topics and you're going to get to use the infographics that my team and I create as bait, use them as lead generating tools, use them as clickbait, as they say, use them as shareable viral mediums. So now is your time or your opportunity to speak up and tell me what would you like us to make, and we'll make it for you. Okay, so we're going to cover 4 topics, 4 infographics coming up, and you guys get to pick them out. So why don't you guys go ahead and share right now? In fact, just go ahead and pop it in the chat box. What topic would you like an infographic created on? Because we'll go ahead and we'll make it, and we're going to supply it to our members on Glip. Okay, so what topics would you like to see created? Something that is, and while you're thinking about that, also think about it from the angle of what time of year we're in. We're getting towards the end of the year. So that means a couple of things. Number one, it means a lot more shopping. So people are about to start ramping up their credit card usage, aren't they? Right? We have holiday seasons coming up. But not just that, but we also have to think ahead is come January, what happens? What do a lot of people do? That's when a lot of people start to get those bills. That's when people are planning and making their resolutions. What are they going to accomplish for the new year? So they're looking at all the things that they can do also typically to get out of debt, to save money, because, well, they generally didn't do too well over the holiday season when it came to restraining themselves, right? So keep those factors in mind. What topics would you like to see, folks? What topics would you like to see for infographics? Now let me go ahead and pull up the one that we've already created. Let's pull that back up here. There we are. So we can turn it into something very shareable, something that attracts the eyeball and gets them looking at these. So what topics would you like to see covered? I'm just going to put some down here too. Just typing some out here today. So Tom says down payment. Okay. So we got down payment, we got credit savings, paid off and loan, then carrying. Okay, student loans, use of co-borrower, and credit. So Tom, I think the credit one is a really good one because a lot of people don't really understand it. There's a lot of myths out there. So I really agree with you on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that one right out of the gate. So credit. So what are some angles we can use on credit? Well, let's think about this for a second. So when it comes to credit, we can use think about it from this angle. How do you compare? How do you compare to everyone else in the country, essentially, to these nationwide averages when it comes to credit? That would be a good angle. Another good angle would be the top 7 credit myths debunked. That would be a fun one to do. Okay. So I really like your recommendation there for credit. Okay, let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, the down payment is another really good one, just because, again, we get a lot of misconceptions. So that's just something that Jolyn threw out there. Credit Karma, isn't it? So yeah, so that would go into the myths there. So down payments is another good one too. Okay, so these are just some ideas. So it's just kind of brainstorming here because we're gonna create these for you guys and give you some very colorful, eye appealing tools that you can use within your ads that draw people in. Okay, what percentage of loans don't have 20%? Okay, so I'm just gonna pop this in here. Tom. Okay, that's just for later. Okay. So credit scores from Jolyn. Okay, good. So not just credit, but credit scores. So that would also tie into the how do you compare mentioned above. Now, once we create these, now here's where things get even more interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to take and break apart each module, each graphic. And let me give you an example so that you get a visual of what I'm talking about here. And we're going to turn it actually into an animated video as well. So that will also be available to our members. But watch this, just to give you an idea, this is what an infographic video looks like. Watch this.
62% of adults worldwide now use social media. An average internet user spends 16 hours online a month, while an average American spends 32 hours online. 79% of U.S. population is online, which puts it in 5th place. Countries.
And by the way, this is an old video from 2012. So if you're looking at these statistics, then yeah, I think we're far beyond that now. You're correct. This is a 5-year-old video.
With a higher percentage are Japan at 80%, France at 80%, Germany at 82%, and the UK at 85%. 456 million people make China the country with the most people online. Facebook is the biggest social network, and it now has over 900 million users worldwide. 43% of its users are male and 57% female. Average users will spend 20 minutes on Facebook per visit. They will like 2.7 billion pages a day and upload 250 million photos.
Okay, so you're getting the point, though. Basically, what we're going to do for you is we're going to take and we're going to create the static medium in the form of the infographic. Then we're going to break apart each statistic and give it an animation, and we can do it both with and without a voiceover, a professional voiceover and narration. Okay, so we'll do both. And again, it's going to give you something for viral sharing and to easily get people engaging with your ads by sharing something that is very consumable. Okay, so all of those topics that you brought up, these are all things that we can turn into both infographics as well as animated infographic style videos. So some really, really exciting things going on here. And I really look forward to creating these and showing these to you. And I also recommend a holiday spin on these a little bit just because of the time of year. You might as well make it relevant. Okay, so if you guys have any requests, let us know early on because we're going to get started on these very, very soon. Okay. So a question from Al. Have you covered average credit card debt yet for refinance opportunities? So yeah, the credit card debt, that was the this one right up here. Okay, so that's this infographic here. Now yours is going to be a little different. This was something that was just custom built to spec from a client, so we had to keep a very specific style. But yeah, I mean, anything that you guys, a specific statistic or question you want to see addressed in the infographic, by all means, send it over to us, guys, and we'll or if you have any really cool statistics or information you want to see make it into the infographic, if you send it over to us, we'll definitely consider it. Okay, because the beautiful thing about an infographic is it can be any size, guys. This one is just a regular, just your typical size, but they can be long, they can be short, they can be wide. So there's really no limits to what we can do with an infographic. So if you have statistics you want inserted in there, or some really cool information that you think would be very helpful and get people thinking along, you want them in that mindset, thinking along the lines of, wow, holy crap, that's a lot of debt. I really should think about getting this debt consolidated. Now, let me show you part 2 of what we did with this infographic was we broke it up into, let's see if I can find it. There we go. So we broke it up into stages. So I keep getting this stupid thing blocking half of my screen on here. So you're only going to see part of it. But basically what we also did was we created part 2 as a partner to that infographic called A Step-by-Step Guide to Consolidating Debt, where we break down the steps of a refinance process. Okay, so we broke it up into easy steps, just walking them through. Again, it doesn't have to be groundbreaking. All it's doing is we're getting them into that shocked mindset of, holy cow, that's a lot of debt. And then we're hitting them with a good, solid, easy to follow message of, okay, the solution is really, really simple, guys. Here's what you do, right? So does that make sense? How we broke it up for them? So there's a lot of different directions we can go for that. Now, something else that I want to show you guys here today. So first of all, any more comments or questions on the infographics? Anything that's a topic that hasn't been shared yet? So just as a recap, we've talked about credit myths. We've talked about the national averages of credits and credit scores, as well as for refinance purposes. We've talked about down payments. That could be low down payment versus no down payment home loans. How many are really available in your area? What other individuals aren't telling you? So we already have a number of them here that we can create from just your recommendations. But if there's anything else that pops in your head, let us know within the next 24 hours, because my guys are getting started right away. Okay? So the sooner you let us know, then the sooner that can be a consideration for what we create. All right. So if there's anything else, please let us know right away. Okay. Now, let me get some more tabs open. Now I want to show you guys something here. Something really exciting. So something that we've been wanting to work on for a while now is a instant interactive landing page style calculator. Okay, for example, debt consolidation calculator, find out how much I can save, where they can get instant results, or you as the marketer can hide those results behind a lead form that they have to fill out after they've answered all the questions. To get the final answer, they have to put in their name and email and have it, redirected or sent over to them. So these things actually pull extremely well. And as you can see here, we got some sliders that instantly impact our numbers over on the right, just to show what's possible. Okay, so we finally found a good platform for creating these interactive style calculators. Now, the reason why that's such a big deal, guys, is because A, they work. They really do for lead capture purposes. These things are hard to beat. But two, the formulas, the mathematical formulas that go into creating these can be very, very frustrating and difficult, because it's some advanced stuff, okay, when it comes to the actual formulas on a landing page that go into this, it's pretty heady and can get out of control in a hurry. Like if you just start taking at just a basic reference sheet for the most basic formulas, this is what we're looking at here. This is the type of stuff that we have to wade through. And it has to be perfect, absolutely 100% flawless. Otherwise, your calculator just doesn't work properly and spits out the wrong numbers, right? So this is the type of stuff that we have to play around with. Well, what we've done, guys, is we've attached this to a platform, our formulas to a platform that allows us to deploy instant landing page style calculators. And these calculators can be any topic imaginable. Let's look at some examples here as far as topics. Let me pull some up here. And I want you guys, again, we're going to be making these available to you for running some ads as we go along here. So you guys have yet another opportunity to basically get some semi-custom functions here put together for you, something that very, very, very few of your competitors would know how to deploy something like this. So you would have very little competition, but these things are absolutely rock solid when it comes to using them as a lead generator. So let's talk about some topics that we can cover. So how about a debt consolidation calculator landing page, as in find out instantly how much money you can save monthly, every single month if you were to consolidate X amount of debt now. So we give them sliders where they can toggle what their interest rates are and what their debts are on a monthly basis, in addition to their mortgage, and then boom, it can spit out here's how much consolidating that debt could possibly save you on a monthly basis. But then we could also create a yearly version of that. We could create a lifetime version of that. We can create a how long will it take me to be debt free calculator. We can create a how much interest would I save if I made extra payments on my mortgage calculator. We can find out or run a find out how much it will cost me to buy a home calculator. What would my closing costs be calculator? How much money do I need to bring to the closing table calculator? What's the cheapest loan I qualify for calculator? Using conventional loans versus government loans calculator. Which is better for me? FHA or conventional? VA or conventional, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's endless possibilities, guys. And all you have to do is leave us some requests. If we get enough requests for certain topics, that's what we're going to make available to you. Okay, so let's get creative with this. I mean, there's just so many different angles that you can go with this. We can even make some fun holiday themed ones, such as, how many turkeys could I afford to buy from the grocery store on the amount of money I save for my I mean, there's holiday themes that you could wrap into these that get people smiling and sharing. How many extra Christmas presents could I buy? If I were to consolidate my debt now, boom. And they're instant calculators that spit out the results or offer to spit out the results. But first, you got to give us an email on where to send those results to. It's up to you how you want it to function. Okay. But bottom line is we're going to give you access to these functions, something that, again, you're not going to run into too many other loan officers, not just in your city, but in your entire state that can do this. Make sense? All right. So let's do a little more brainstorming here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so how about we could do a home improvement. So how many of you guys doing home improvement style loans? Compare how much would it cost me to add a new kitchen or a new addition to my home or do some home improvement using this type of a mortgage loan versus a personal loan or versus putting it on my credit card find out the difference in costs. We could also do a knowledge-based test. So the calculator isn't just a calculator. It has a very advanced logic tree. So that logic tree means that we can also do things such as ranking and ratings, such as how do you compare or how many questions can you get right. So we can actually do a full quiz. So 6 out of 10 people cannot answer these questions about refinancing or about buying a home. How do you compare? Now boom, they get asked 6 or 7 progressively semi-difficult questions, and then it ranks them on a scale of 0 to 10 or 0 to 100, however you want it to be. Pretty amazing, huh? How home loan ready are you? Just how savvy are you when it comes to loans? How long will it take me to pay my mortgage off at the rate that I'm going? How long will it take me to pay my credit cards off at the rate that I'm going? See, when we were doing our research for this credit card infographic, I mean, we found some just mind-blowing statistics on credit card debt as to just how long it takes the average American to pay off just a single card. And it's just absolutely mind-boggling and just how much money they spent, on something that should have only cost $1,000 actually costs several grand once you tack on that interest over the life of that loan. So when we start offering quizzes and interactive pages with interactive elements to these individuals, what happens? Again, it's a night and day difference, guys. When these people's eyes are opened up and they're just seeing what's flying out of their pocket. I mean, that money's practically flying out of their pocket, right? They're a lot more receptive to your message then. So once again, any topics, all you got to do is pop it on over to Glip. But I recommend that you do it sooner rather than later, right? Just because we're already getting started on both of these projects. And that's what I'm so stoked and excited about, guys, because this is going to change the way you run ads, having these interactive pages with full-blown instant quizzes, instant statistics, instant answers. So I really, really look forward to assembling these with you folks. And these are going to be set up here and ready to go next week. So I strongly recommend, if you do have any requests that you on topics that you'd like to see covered, that you send them over on Glip ASAP, because we're going to have these ready, and then we're going to go ahead and start running some live ads with them next week. Okay. Yeah, Al, I do, but the problem with the ones that I have completed is they're very heavily branded, and I have some of my clients. I have a very strict privacy policy with them, so I can't just show anything that'll show their link or their logo or whatnot. So I can show it to you guys if I take a snapshot of it and just kind of edit out anything that identifies them, then I can. Okay, but when I work with a lot of my larger clients, unfortunately, there's a lot of secrecy. Occasionally we get some that just don't care. Just yeah, whatever. You're welcome to show off what you've done for us. But then others want to fly completely under the radar, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. They're probably just hoping not to get any copycats. Yeah, so that's understandable. But yeah, if I'd be more than happy to show you guys, once I take a screenshot and just edit out the logos and whatnot, so you guys can see it without unbranded version. Okay. And it's not going to be a complete knockoff, just so you know. No, we're not going to take and just completely clone exactly what was done for obvious reasons. So that we have a lot of flexibility here in what types of questions that you would like to see, or anything along those lines. Just let us know. So it's almost like you have your own professional programmers going to work for you here, guys. All right. Awesome. 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 Okay. So give me just a second here. I'm just going to open up. So let me just go back to this page. Now I can scroll through some questions here. Yes, the calendar to loan application, guys, is still just absolutely crushing it. So yeah, I recommend everyone utilize something similar. Go for those appointments, guys. I can't reiterate that enough. Go for the appointments. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so as it sits, guys, we got the credit infographic, we got the credit myths infographic, we got the down payment comparisons infographics. If there's anything else, and when I say anything else, guys, I mean even going into niches. So I really want to jumpstart your brain here from a creativity standpoint. Think about some niches within niches, because imagine sharing hyper relevant but really good information in niches that tend to not get uh, good customized or personalized information shared with them. For example, divorces, divorce refinances. I mean, that's a huge amount of business for a lot of people that specialize in that, right? Community heroes programs. So doctors, police officers, EMS units, EMTs, and so forth. Firemen. So imagine having infographics created covering those types of processes. And we're not just doing the infographics, we're also doing the video animations too, right? Self-employed, borrowers, business owners, reverse mortgages, first-time home buyers, damaged credit. What about those individuals that are floating right in that almost purgatory? They're not good credit, but they're not completely totaled credit either, but they're kind of somewhere in between. They've probably been told no enough times to where they feel like, hey, they're probably overreacting and thinking that their credit's worse than it really is, thinking that they don't have any options. We can show the path to credit repair, even, right? So just giving you some things to think about so that you can make your requests. If you have anything else you wish to add, just send it to me on Glip, and we'll get started making these, guys. These are going to be tools that you can use for as long as you want. So let's get cracking. Anything that you'd like to see, or any cool statistics you'd like to see added, or angles you'd like to see considered, send it on over to me, and I'll make sure my guys get it if it's something that can appeal to multiple individuals. All right? Perfect. So next week we're going to turn on ads again, this time using the new tools that we're making for you. So get excited and send in your requests, and anything else, guys, just let me know. And that's it for today. All right. So you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I know, again, it's a short week, but I hope it's still a productive one for you. Any questions, let me know on Glip. We'll talk soon. All right, guys. Bye now.